What's going on, guys? And for the final time, welcome back to another episode of Rising Above Adversity, AFC Bournemouth. Yes, as you can tell from the title of the video, this is going to be the final episode of the series. And please, if you have enjoyed this series, make sure you hit that like button and let me know that you did enjoy it, because for me, this has been so enjoyable this series. Now, I know a lot of you may not have followed this series from start to finish. I started this series up really early on when I started up my YouTube channel. This has been my first kind of proper save. I know I had like a Valencia save when I really first started up my channel back in April, but that didn't really get off the ground. This has been my first proper save that has started off, with episode 1 and now finishing here at episode number 63. As I said, it's been an incredible journey, and I'm not sure how long this episode is actually going to be, because I've got a list in front of me of things that I want to talk to you about. And first of all, we're going to look back at the current season, and we're going to start off with the Premier League. Of course, we won the Premier League once again. We won it in 2019. Last year, a big disappointment for us, finishing 4th in the table, but this year we came back bigger, better and stronger, winning it 3 points ahead of Chelsea on 89 points. We only lost 3 games all season, scored 91 goals and only conceded 33. You can see Man City finishing in 3rd there, Arsenal in 4th, Manchester United in 5th, Liverpool in 6th, and Crystal Palace, Southampton and West Ham going down this season. You can see some of our players featuring in the stats section of the page there, and the top goal scorers. We've got Marco Negro on 19, although he finished level with 3 other players on the 19 goals. Arujo from QPR, Zaza from Everton and Eden Hazard from Chelsea, of course. But if we look at the assists, Alen Halilovic finishing up top of the assist charts with 20 assists to his name. Joaquin Correa in 2nd on 14, so that is fantastic to see. Alen Halilovic also finished 4th in the Most Player of the Match awards section with 6 awards to his name. And Bardi, you can see, finished up with the 2nd most clean sheets in the league with 16, level with Simon Mignolet. So I actually want to talk about and look at some of the awards from this season. So we're going to start off with the Golden Glove. As you saw, Thibaut Courtois got that with Bardi in 2nd and Simon Mignolet in 3rd. And then if we move on to the Golden Boot, as I mentioned, Negro actually got the Golden Boot due to the fact that he's played less games than everybody else. You can see he only played 27 games compared to Arujo's 30 and Zaza's 33. So that is a really impressive goal scoring record. In fact, 19 goals in 27 appearances. And I think he only made 20 starts in the league, so that makes it even more impressive from Marco Negro. But Manager of the Year went to me. Of course, I won it when we won the title back in 2018-19. Really happy to win that one again, and I've gone to the wrong page. Next up, we've got FWA Footballer of the Year. That went to Eden Hazard of Chelsea. Scored 19 goals this season and got 13 assists. A really, really good season for Hazard. PFA Player of the Year went to Oxlade-Chamberlain of Arsenal. Another really good season for him. 17 goals and 13 assists in the league. So he got PFA Player of the Year. Young Player of the Year went to Alen Halilovic, of course, of Bournemouth. 6 goals, 20 assists. A really, really good year for Alen Halilovic. Of course, we bought him in a few years ago from Man City for about £6 million. And what a signing he has been. And in fact, talking about signings, at the end of this episode, I'm going to take you through my top 5 signings of the series, so that is something to look forward to. But we're going to finish up here with the PFA Premier League Team of the Year. 4 Bournemouth players featuring in this one. Raheem Ait Mokhtar, of course, who he spent big money on even at the start of the season. £30 million we brought him in for, and he had a really good season in his first year at the club. Emmanuel Mamana alongside him, Alen Halilovic in the midfield, and of course Marco Negro up front. So that is the awards from the Premier League. As I said, wonderful season in the league for us after finishing 4th last year. Delighted that we were able to win it once again. But now we're going to move on to the Champions League, and of course we won the Champions League by beating PSG in the final 3-1. And now we're going to do the same with the Champions League. We're going to look through the awards, and the best player of the tournament went to Neymar, of course, of Barcelona. 12 games in the competition, 9 goals and 12 assists. A really good year in the competition for Neymar. Of course, Barcelona going out in the semi-finals to PSG. But the dream team of the year, now I've seen this already, but guys, just look at this site. Look at all those Bournemouth players. A back 5 got into the team of the Champions League dream team. Bardi in goal, a back 4 of Raheem Ait Mokhtar, Mamana, Lee Song-yong and Para. How many times have I read that out when we've been going through the team sheets? But Alen Halilovic got in the midfield alongside Suarez, Odegaard and Kuro. Of Real Madrid. I've never heard of him before, but he's a normal player. And up front, Luciano Vieto actually got into the dream team alongside Messi. Vieto didn't really play that much in the league, but he made an impact in the Champions League. Here it says he scored 9 goals in the competition, but in the previous page it said he scored 11, which is a bit strange. And maybe they're not counting the goals in the playoff. So is he not going to get the golden boot? Let's have a look. So no, the golden boot actually went to Messi because, of course, he's played less games than Vieto, scoring 9 goals in 9 appearances. But again, as I said, if we go back to this page, it says Luciano Vieto was the top goal scorer with 11 goals. So as I said, I don't think they're counting the playoff stage of the competition in these awards. So that's a bit strange. But anyway, Joaquin Correa finished second in the most assist charts, with 8 assists behind Neymar, who finished up with 12. Most player of the match awards, Halilovic was in there with 3 assists. He finished level up on Messi, in fact, joint, and Ferreira of Shakhtar as well. So he finished joint second with Messi and Ferreira. Neymar finished up on 4 man of the match awards there. And most clean sheets, Bardi finishing in second behind the PSG keeper, Matumono. But yeah, the Champions League, this of course was the ultimate goal when I started up the series. Of course, when my two aims were to, 1, take Bournemouth to the top of English football, and then the top of European football, and we've done that. And again, this is probably the reason why the series is coming to an end now. I don't think there's any more I could achieve in this series. I mean, it's best to go out on a high, in my opinion, and winning every single competition. I think, there's going to be very hard for me to top that. We've won the Premier League twice now. We've won the FA Cup twice. We've won the the Capital One Cup 3 times, I believe. So, we've won it all. The Champions League, of course, now. And we've done it all in the series. And again, there just wasn't much more for me to do here with Bournemouth. And after such a memorable season, it's only right that we take a look at the players in the squad, that won us all those trophies. We're going to take a look at some of the key performers from this year. And I've sorted it by goals to start off with. And the top of the pile this year was Marco Negro with 31 goals in 43 appearances in all competitions. A really, really good breakout year for Marco Negro. Of course, only 20 years old. We brought him in at the start of last season for 11 million from West Ham. And it was a fantastic year for him. 19 goals again, as you saw in the league, in 27 appearances. And as I said, he only started 20 games in the league. So that was a very, very impressive goal-scoring record. But another player to look at, Cesar Oliveira, on loan from Roma for the season. I said this guy is going to be an absolute star, but I kind of wasn't expecting him to make the impact that he did. He was incredible this year. Of course, playing on that right-hand side, got 20 goals in 52 appearances even in all competitions, 13 in 30 in the league. What a season for Cesar Oliveira. 7 goals in the league as well. Really, really good player. Top player, and someone with a big future ahead of him. Alen Halilovic, of course, I've talked about him, finished top of the assists in the league, got 14 goals though in 50 appearances in all competitions, 6 in 32 in the league. Again, as you can see, finished up with 27 assists in all competitions. What a bargain buy he was. £6.25 million we brought him in from Man City. I'm sure they're regretting it now. I'm sure they are regretting that. But moving on, we've got Joaquin Correa. Another standout year for Joaquin Correa. Not as good as last year, but still fantastic. 12 goals in 56 appearances. Played so many games this year. Made 34 appearances in the league with 7 goals. Got 14 assists. Again, as I said, not as good as last year where he got 9 goals and 17 in the league. 17 assists, in the league. But still a really, really good season for Joaquin Correa. And we're going to talk about some of the top signings. I don't even know if I've already mentioned it. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to look at some of the top 5 signings from this series, from my opinion. And yeah, there's going to be some few probably expected names in there. But yeah, we'll look at that later. Manuel Mana, another top performer, now valued at 45 million. What a player he has been. Only 25 years old still. He played 49 times for us this year, scored 6 goals, played 31 times in the league, average rating overall of 7.38, just a rock at the back. And alongside him, of course, we had Lee Song-yong, his partner, who made 46 appearances with an average rating of 7.34. Those two, so important to what we do. And I think, we got them in for a combined fee of, what was it? I think it was about 6.5 million we got them both for. And that partnership has just been absolutely incredible at the back. And one final player that I actually want to mention. There's a few players that I could talk about, because everyone did put their, contribute this season. There's so many players, but I want to talk about Chininia. Now, when I brought this guy in at the start of the season for 4.6 million, I didn't envisage him making the impact that he did. He was going to be, of course, in the squad, a part of the first team squad. I thought I was going to give him, games here and there. He was simply going to be a backup player, but, he went on to make an absolutely incredible impact in the first team. Made 48 appearances in all competition, 26 appearances in the league. What a player this guy is going to be. And again, another standout performer this year for such a small fee that we got him for. This guy was absolutely incredible. Chininia, again, as I said, someone who's going to have a really, really big future at the club, because I am probably going to continue this save offline. I may update my save, update you guys on Twitter and stuff. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, link will be in the description below. So go and follow me on Twitter. So yeah, I probably will carry on this save and talk about it on Twitter and things like that. But yeah, Chininia, another top performer this season for us. Moving on then, I wanted to take a look at the save as a whole and how we got to this point. So, of course, we started off in the Championship, and what a first season it was at the club. Of course, we won the Capital One Cup final, won the Capital One Cup even in our first season, which was just mind-blowing, really, beating Man City in the final of the competition, going up through the playoffs. It was just an amazing start to the series, wasn't it? Going up in the playoffs. I think I said it right at the start when we did go up that way. But for me, there is no better way than getting promoted through the playoffs. It's just an incredible feeling. The next 2 seasons were kind of us consolidating our position in the Premier League. A couple of difficult years, finishing 14th and 15th, which is really good actually for a team that's come up from the Championship. 2 mid-table low-end finishes, but really 2 good seasons. And then we really kicked on though in 2017-18, finishing 7th in the Premier League, and in the season after that to go from 7th in the Premier League to winning the title, it really was incredible. Of course, we lost a lot of games that year. I think we lost about 9 games in that season and still went on to win the league. But that was amazing. The season after that was disappointing, as I've already mentioned. But we did win the FA Cup that last season, which kind of papered over the cracks just a little bit. But this season, of course, I don't need to say anything more about this season. 5 trophies in all. The Champions League, the Premier League. The best season today by a complete mile. But yeah, it's been a very fast rise to the top, really. 7 seasons I've played this save for, and in 7 seasons we've gone from the Championship to Champions League winners. So it has been an incredible rise, but it's one I've enjoyed every single second of. And something I haven't really looked at in my entire time of playing this save is my actual manager page. Now, of course, you can see my reputation is now world class. I'm also a legend at Bournemouth now, so that is really amazing. But you can see my stats are out of this world, really, as you would expect after just winning the Champions League, winning the league twice. Interestingly, they've got my preferred formation as the 4-4-2 narrow diamond. This is a formation I played kind of earlier on in this series, but I haven't played the diamond for a really long time. So that is quite interesting. My career stats, as you can see there, 377 games in charge, won 206, drew 63, lost 108. That gave me a win percentage of 54%, which is pretty damn good in my opinion. You can see some of the personal awards that I've got there. I also wanted to look at the amount of players that we've brought in and sold. So we brought in over the series a total of 45 players for a total of 296 million. Now, of course, in the last 2 seasons, we've really spent a lot of money to try and push ourselves to that next level in the Champions League. So that's where a lot of that money has gone to. We sold a total of 34 players for a value of 167 million. The highest fee spent, of course, was on Martin Karpf, who we bought in January of this season, in fact, for £50 million. And the highest fee received was Hervin Ongenda, who we sold to Man City, if you remember, for 38 million. After buying him a year before for 4.5 billion. That was an incredible profit made on him. And the total fee paid to agents was 53 million. And while we're talking about figures, I thought I'd bring you to the finances page. Of course, we are listed as a rich club, as you would have expected. 71 million in the bank, projected to make a profit of 124 million. How do we compare, though, to the other clubs around the world in terms of our finances? Where do we list? I'm not sure about our value, actually. So if we go to world... Is it profile? Clubs. Yep, finances. Wow, we are the richest club in the world. I had no idea. I literally had no idea. See, I don't look at these things that much. I look at the finances page, but I've never really looked at how much we're valued at and things like that. So we're worth 1.21 billion, top of the pile, ahead of Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Bournemouth are the richest club in the world. I mean, there's not too many shocks in there, I don't think. I don't think there's any... Has there been any tycoon takeovers? I don't think there has been any. Japan All-Stars. That's a bit strange. Is that even a real team? Japan All-Stars? But yeah, I don't think there's any real shocks in there. So, Bournemouth in 2021... are the richest club in the world. Before we get into the top 5 signings of the series then, I wanted to take you to our best 11 of all time. Of course, you can see they've got that diamond formation set up, and a lot of these names bringing back some fantastic memories. The first 11 is Bardi in goal, back 4, Simon Francis at right back, of course, a player who started out at the club and played with us in the Premier League for a couple of years before we moved him on. Mamana and Lee Song-yong, as you would expect, as the centre-back pairing. Para at left-back. Of course, Para was a bargain signing. We brought him in for 2.1 million from Cruzeiro a few years ago. He's now valued at 17.75. He's only 25 years old. Really, really solid left-back. But in the midfield, they've got Sergej Sidicic as the holding man. Of course, Sidicic, who we sold in January of this season, was a really good servant for us. Benjamin Nunes in the centre of the park. Nikosos Stanku in there as well. A player who we have also sold on, but he was a really good servant for us as well. Joaquin Correa, as you would expect in there. He's made the most appearances out of any player for me, actually, with 180. Scored 42 goals. And up front, they've got Hervin Ongenda, as you would have expected, and Luciano Vieto up front. On the bench, you've got Artur Buric, Steve Cook, Entep, who was a great player for us, Harry Arter, Callum Wilson, Danny Wilson, and Will Keane. And finally then, here we are with the top 5 signings of this series, and it had to feature this man, didn't it? Hervin Ongenda. What a player he was for us. Now, he only spent 1 year, 2 years in total, but we signed him, of course, in 2016-17 for 4.5 million. That season, he scored 33 goals in 38 appearances. A year later, we sold him to Man City for 38 million, but that wasn't the end of Hervin Ongenda's time at Bournemouth, of course, because we brought him back on loan last season, and he scored 15 goals in 28 appearances. What a player. I mean, I'd always love Ongenda for that one season. he was an amazing player for me, and it's a shame that he's been completely wasted at City. How many games has he played in the league for City? He's played, 7 games in the entire time that he's been at City in the league. They've completely wasted him. He didn't play at all this season in the league, did he? It's a real shame, but yeah, Hervin Ongenda, incredible player for me, and he is definitely one of my top signings in this series. And at number 4, we've got the goalkeeper, Francesco Bardi. What a servant this guy has been for me. He also signed in the 2016-17 season. He came in January, and he came in at a time where we was really, really struggling. And honestly, that season, I thought we were going to go down from the Premier League. But he came in, and straight away from day one, he was our number 1 keeper, and he has been our number 1 ever since he's joined the club. You can see that from the amount of appearances that he has made for the club. What a player. Every season just consistently good. You can see, look at the average ratings. He's just been consistently brilliant for us. For a goalkeeper to have, around that 7 average rating mark is really, really good. And Francesco Bardi, a wonderful keeper. Surprised that he's only made 1 appearance for the Italian national team. Who is their goalkeeper? Let's have a look. So they've got, I can't even pronounce his name, Simon, I think it's Scuffet. I can't even pronounce it properly. But he should be, he is in the Italian national team, but yeah, shame he hasn't made more appearances for Italy, but for me, an absolute stalwart in goal. At number 3, we've got the only region who features in this list. It's Lee Song-yong, the 22-year-old Korean centre-back, valued at 38 million now. We bought him for 1.3 in also the 2016-17 season. Now, when I first signed this guy, I said straight away, I've got a feeling this guy is going to be a star, and what a star he has become. We eased him into the first team in the first couple of seasons. Of course, he was really young when he came. He was, of course, 18 when he joined us. In the first 2 seasons, he made appearances here and there, as you can see. But from the 2018-19 season onwards, he has been a first-choice centre-back each and every single week when he hasn't been injured or whatever, But look at the player he has become. Maybe you may remember what he looked like when he first came. He was really good when he first came, attribute-wise, but he's improved a hell of a lot, and he's only 22 years old. Lee Song-yong, definitely one of my top signings in this series. And of course, at number 2, I had to include his centre-back partner, Emmanuel Mamana, 25 years old, now valued at 45 million. We signed him the same season that we signed Lee Song-yong. You can notice that a lot of these players actually came during the same season. We bought Mamana in for 5.25 million. As I mentioned, Mamana and Lee Song-yong costing us a combined fee of about 6.5 million. What a fee. And, this guy was a number 1 centre-back for us from day one. You can see in his first season, made 34 appearances. Every season, he's made 30-plus appearances in the league. And he's just been consistently brilliant for us. A real dominating figure at the back. He's just so well-rounded. He's got the aerial ability. He's also good on the ball. Just an amazing player. He's also in the Argentine national team now, as you would expect. Not made as much appearances as I thought he would make, but yeah, for me, what a player. What an absolutely amazing player, Emmanuel Mena. And for that fee, it's just definitely, again, one of the top signings in this series. And at number 1, we had to have this man, Joaquin Correa. Where do I start with Joaquin Correa? Oh my god. Again, we brought him in the 2016-17 season for £5 million. And just look at year on year how good he has been. Consistently brilliant. In the first season, he only scored 1 goal, but he got 10 assists. The year after that, 12 goals and 9 assists in the league. Year after that, 13 goals and 13 assists, And then, the year after that, 9 goals and 17 assists. And then finally, 7 goals and 14 assists in the most recent season. For £5 million, we got that for. Joaquin Correa is just an incredible player, an amazing player. He's now valued at 32.5 million. Of course, he's wanted by some of the biggest clubs in the world, the likes of Real Madrid. We've had to fend off interest like pretty much every single season for him. But he's wanted to stay at the club. Of course, he's saying that he wants to join Real Madrid, but we've managed to keep hold of him, and he's been vital to what we've done in this series, improving us hugely every year. Despite all the changes, all the new players that have come in throughout the series, he has been a constant in this team. And Joaquin Correa, for me, is the best signing that I have made in this series. But you know, there has been a lot of players that have been incredible signings. I can't mention them all. Of course, Luciano Vieto being one of them, Nikos Stanku, Benjamin Nunes. You know, lots of very good signings that I've made in this series. And strangely enough, even the captain, Andres Cubas, wasn't included in that best 11 list. And he has been an amazing player for me. He's now valued at 41 million. We brought him in for 4.8 million a few seasons ago from Vélez in Argentina. Again, as I said, he's now the captain of the club. He, again, is one of the top signings that I've made in this series. And now that I have talked you through everything that I wanted to talk about, that will be the end of this series. I can't believe it's coming to an end, but I just want to thank you guys for watching this series, you know, showing your support on it, hitting the like button, leaving comments. I really do appreciate it. And again, if you did enjoy this series, make sure you like this video. But that is it. The Bournemouth series has come to an end. We've got the Style series to think about, and I'm going to be putting all my focus into that one. But yeah, again, if you like this, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. But for now, it's been Halfback FM, and I'll see you guys in a bit.